Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss some important assumptions of critical race theory. Critical race theory is a theoretical framework that originated in the field of legal studies in the 1970s and has since expanded into various disciplines including education, sociology, and political science. Critical race theory emerged as a response to the limitations of traditional legal analysis in addressing systematic racism and racial inequality embedded in society. It seeks to challenge the ways in which racial power dynamics operate to maintain and perpetuate racial hierarchies. Some important assumptions of critical race theory are as under. Number 1. Intersectionality. Critical race theory recognizes that race intersects with other social categories, such as gender, class, and sexuality, to shape individual experiences of oppression and privilege. It highlights the importance of multiple dimensions of identity and the ways they interact to create unique forms of discrimination. Number 2. Permanence of racism. Critical race theory posits that racism is an enduring feature of society rather than a manifestation of aberrational behavior. It is maintained through explicit and implicit mechanisms. Explicit mechanisms of racism spring from discriminatory policies, hate crimes, racial slurs, etc. They are easy to identify and address because they are manifest. On the other hand, implicit mechanisms of racism are more subtle and deeply embedded. Such mechanisms are based on unconscious prejudices that can influence attitudes, decisions, and behaviors, so they can lead to systematic racial disparities. It is difficult to address implicit racism. Number 3. Social construction of race. Critical race theory challenges the notion of race as a fixed biological category and instead views it as a social construct. It asserts that race is a product of social, historical, and cultural forces that have been used to justify and maintain systems of oppression. Number 4. Convergence of interests. This principle suggests that racial progress is more likely to occur when the interests of marginalized racial groups align with the interests of those in power. Critical race theory argues that advancements in racial equality have often been limited to situations where they serve the interests of the dominant group. Number 5. Counter-storytelling. Counter-storytelling is a specific form of counter-hegemonic discourse that uses personal narratives as a means of resistance and transformation. As critical race theory encourages the sharing of marginalized voices, it approves of counter-storytelling. Counter-storytelling involves highlighting lived experience to expose the ways in which racism operates and to provide alternative perspectives to dominant power structures. Objections against critical race theory. Some critics argue that critical race theory promotes divisiveness, racial essentialism, and anti-white agenda. It is important to note that critical race theory does not advocate for discrimination against any racial group on account of their race. Instead, it seeks to examine and address the structural aspects of racism. To conclude, critical race theory offers a lens to analyze and challenge racial inequalities and systematic racism. By examining the intersection of race with other social categories, critical race theory offers a nuanced understanding of how racism operates and perpetuates societal inequities. Understanding critical race theory's assumptions can contribute to informed discussions on race, power, and social justice. Thank you very much.